Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Jeremiah.
And on last week's episode,
Scott
got COVID.
3 months ago,
Yeah.
week's episode.
Yeah.
About a month
It's
ago.
been about a month.
Yeah.
Right after the last recording. And actually, we had
That
a
last
recording.
recording when we promised we were back.
And we were back because I had a COVID scare. Remember, we
Right,
took a
yes.
break because I couldn't come here for a week because I had to
Yes.
see if I had COVID.
right.
Then I did get COVID.
Did. And which is funny because we also recorded right before you got COVID. Like literally
Days.
like to where I was worried myself. Like I came back negative myself. But I'm pretty sure we recorded.
It was
while
close
you had
enough where it was a risk.
Yeah. But anyway, so you're healthy. You're not
I lived.
dead.
I lived. I'm triple vaxxed, and I still got sick as fuck.
Not like you boosted. You mean you got all three?
I got
a J&J,
two
you got the
vaxes
Moderna,
and a
and the
boost.
I thought you meant you got the Moderna, the Pfizer, and the J&J.
No, I think I'm all Pfizered.
Yeah, I'm
I think.
I'm Modernaed up.
Regardless,
I'm
yeah.
Moderna man.
Yeah, it hit me at least hard. I guess because I'm middle aged and I used to smoke.
I think it's at this
Maybe
point,
that combo hurt me because I had fevers.
breakthrough cases are a little like it's. I mean, but you got through it on your own. Well, you and your wife.
I mean, I did have a night or two where I was sitting on the couch shaking with a fever, and my bones felt like they were on fire, like they hurt. That was a weird symptom.
That could have been any
And
Tuesday.
I kind of had in the back of my head, I really hope I don't have to go to the ER.
Okay.
Because I'm vaxxed. I'm like, I don't want to. Breakthrough to me is someone who gets sick, because you're going to get sick. But then who has to get medical treatment.
Well, that's the thing, is the breakthrough cases are common enough. It's the breakthrough cases that lead to hospitalization, and then even more rare deaths. And they said, what, like only 3% of hospitalizations are breakthrough cases. So,
Yeah.
And then I was reading about how breakthrough cases, it's extremely rare for a breakthrough case to lead to another breakthrough case because you're shedding less and I'm taking in less. So that's probably why, even though we were spitting in each other's faces, laughing hysterically at our last podcast recording, I was able to walk out in the clear and be just fine and dandy. So I still have enjoyed the COVID club.
Yeah, it takes a while to get your lungs back from it. I remember a week after
need
not really feeling super sick, going out and just taking the recycling and trash bins, the empty ones from the curb, and dragging them back to my house. Not my house, not that far. I was so winded, I had to grab the counter and think about breathing to keep it regulated. That's one breath.
When they showed like and it hasn't come out whether or not he did have COVID or anything, but like when they showed like DeSantis disappeared for like 2 weeks and then he came back and he was like breathing
you can't breathe right for
erratically,
weeks.
at a press conference, and they had like all these holes in his story about where he was, and of course he's all like anti everything, so to get COVID wouldn't look so good.
I was fucking children.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's a better lie?
Yeah.
Well, no one's gonna find out I had COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Not over my dead children I've killed after fucking.
Yeah, it's shit.
I'm just assuming DeSantis fucks kids. Come on.
He's got a whole fucking gaggle of kids. I think kids come in gaggles these days.
For anyone who attacks kids in the school system as hard as he did, he's got a real hard on for kids. Oh, yeah. If you like that humor, tune in next week. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. Or just tune in this week and let them know what the show's about, even though you sort of just did by saying that awful shit.
We take weird news stories from the internet. We try to do more obscure stories than you'd find on mainstream media. And then we talk about them, we make some yucks, and then we twist them into new content.
Damn straight.
We like to do TV shows, movies, book ideas, stand-up routines, comic books. It really doesn't matter what the fuck it is as long as it's new content for the world. And it's open source. Unless we actually say we want to hold on to that content, maybe to do something ourselves because we are creatives. We are basically saying go ahead and run with it if you hear an idea you like and want to make it into a college project or a college film, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. Or a major motion picture, right? We don't care who you are who's listening.
Give us
we don't care what idea
you know,
like.
if it's something major, and you just give us a little shout out on it. I will say,
we'd like a story inspired by kind of credit.
328 episodes in, I'm feeling a little slighted by the fact we haven't been reached out to by anybody.
We don't know that. We don't know
if nobody's made our stuff. I'm saying either nobody's made our stuff and that feels bad, or people have made our stuff and not given us a shout out, and that feels less bad. I'll be fine, actually, because especially it's like, if at the end of the day you're not just saying, oh, well, only I took credit for this, then that's more of a personal. I'm not planning on taking a cut of money from anybody from our crazy ideas, but we've had some gems here. Come on, we've made some of our ideas come true, but
we have. The idea basically of the show is that we're slightly like a news podcast and we're slightly like a writer's room.
Yeah, and here's the way I like to describe it, only for those who know that we have been doing this, not longer than Last Podcast on the Left as a show, but we've been doing this longer than they've been doing side stories, and they ripped off our idea for side stories without knowing who we are. So you talk about, somebody who owes us something. It's those people who don't know who they are who came up with this very simple. Like, the thing is that we got the new content. They just talk about weird news stories. That's how we start.
Yeah.
But, so take that, Ben Kissel, Henry Zabrowski, Marcus Parks. Yeah, I know your name because I fucking subscribe. It's right. And you got off Spotify just at the right time to make it look like you did the right thing, even though it was happening anyway.
Wait, are they off Spotify now?
They're not off Spotify. No, they didn't pull their content. They just had ended their exclusive deal with Spotify.
Oh, so I can get them on other
They're everywhere
because I don't have
again.
Spotify anymore.
They're everywhere again. Yeah.
I went to Amazon because I had a free month. Amazon Music /podcast.
I was going to go to Apple Music because...
And now I'm going to Apple because Kelly got 6 months free because we switched to Verizon.
I was going to go with Apple Music because I don't really give a shit about this. Like, all these companies are fucking horrible, and they platform people way worse than Rogan. So I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna leave for any reason. If there's a practical reason, here's the thing. I've been waiting for Spotify to get like good audio for a while. Essentially, the Dolby audio. To like I can't remember what it's called now, but like I want good quality, like surround high definition, because I have a really nice system. I'm not going to listen on little ear pods. Like I listen AirPods. I listen on a really high quality system that can take advantage of the better bit rates, all that kind of stuff. And the fact that Spotify has supposedly, it's been in the works for a while, but Apple's had it for forever. There's some limited stuff on Amazon. So Apple has a lot of their catalog in that format. So I think it's going to be my nerdy audiophile shit that gets me over there. And
honestly,
everything else is Apple already. I've got a bunch of stuff synced. So
I used to love Spotify and defended them for lots of things.
Their podcast platform sucks.
It really is the worst. But I switched to Amazon and instantly I'm like, oh, it sounds better. Everything sounds better. Plus the Amazon app alone, you can, any song that plays that has a music video, you can tap a little thing above the picture art, album art, and it'll play the video instead of just the audio.
Oh, cool.
And it's that easy to swap between the two.
Well, I think
and you can just leave it on video and just watch an entire artist catalog of music videos.
Spotify is one of those that
Spotify is a really bad app.
Because they're resting on their laurels. They weren't the first in the industry.
They got big first.
But they were the biggest in the industry.
And they're bad.
When they came over here, and I can remember I was pissed because they actually... took away. I mean, they didn't take away, but they essentially wiped their like closest American competitor out of business. And I love their American competitor.
Napster.
LimeWire. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Honestly, I went from using Napster and LimeWire to kind of not doing any streaming for a little bit. And then Spotify, since day one of when streaming became a
legal
real big
Napster.
thing.
It's legal Napster because it's Napster you have to pay for, but the fucking company that makes billions doesn't. I love the fact that they're like, oh, these artists need to make their money, so you can't download the music. They're like, okay, how about you put a company in between that just takes all your money, doesn't give any to the artist, and then it's best for everybody. Like, no, actually, it's way worse for everybody.
You're an audiophile. You should get Tidal then.
I've thought about that.
They have the best sound, the best catalog. The music money goes to the musicians.
Yes, and
you can pay extra per month.
I've thought about
to have higher quality sound and give the musicians more money.
I have enough. It's not so much more expensive than, especially if Spotify or anything ever increase the prices even by like a couple of dollars. Suddenly you're talking about $5.
Tidal's $20 a month for the premium plan. Yeah.
Versus like $11 a month I'm paying for Spotify.
Also, like Tidal, a lot of the big artists on there,
Jay-Z.
like. Well, he's a chair member,
he's
or
owner,
CEO. But I'm just thinking, like, if I listen to Jay-Z or I don't know Kanye, and I'm doing it over Tidal, I'm making a billionaire richer. So I would use it for smaller artists, and I would probably keep a second streaming app just to listen to big names who I don't want to give money to.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift doesn't need another fucking nickel.
And by the way, they don't make any money on that shit either. Like, I remember when Happy was... by the way, remember that thing we said the show was about? It's not about
happy.
That. Yeah, that was the most streamed with over like 1 billion. It was the one like got more like than 1 billion streams like for the first time ever. And they made in the tens of thousands of dollars on that for streaming. Because it's fractions of a penny. The number of zeros before the one after the decimal point is ridiculous.
You got the band members literally sitting at home with all their phones plugged into chargers, playing the song on repeat, just to make them money.
Yep. Well, they actually do have...
I think the electricity costs more than the money you're making off per play.
Yep. Yeah.
One of those,
That's the thing is it does. So people are like, oh, go ahead, give it a shot. You're not going to make any money on us.
You'd have to have a bot farm set up.
Well, that's where like people being upset about the Rogan thing. I was
Solar
like, I was pissed from the get-go when they were like, oh, we don't have all this money to pay artists, but suddenly you've got $100 million to shout out to Rogan. Fine with Rogan.
Or
fine,
to add HD audio, or to make a podcast section that isn't a jumbled fucking
And the reason is
clusterfuck.
because like Rogan could make the money and gain them subscribers, whereas paying people extra money is just literally just giving money away. And it's like, okay. So anyway, yeah, you can fuck Spotify. I mean, a lot of people are probably listening to us right there anyway, but
on Spotify,
keep it. I don't think they're any worse than any other platform.
Well,
I think
they are in the sense that if you're listening to a podcast on them, you're in a format that's shit. And if you're listening to music, you're not getting full sound.
Yes, in that realm, yes,
they're a bad app.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yes, as a bad app, I could see why people would move.
I was tricked into thinking they were a good app because it was my environment. I was used to it.
Yes.
And as soon as I broke away, the first one I went to is, let's go to Amazon.
I get
fucking love it comparatively.
I get pissed. The only thing I'd have to do is I'd have to try to convince a couple of friends of mine who I collaborate on playlists and stuff actively to like come. I would go anyway, and I'm thinking about doing it. So maybe the conversation pulls the trigger.
Yeah.
But like, I also then when the Rogan thing happened, I'm like, now I don't want to leave because I don't want people to think I did it because of that. Because that's just that's like
I just tack that on. Fuck it.
Yeah,
sure. Rogan part of it. Yeah, sure.
It's not though. It's not.
But
it's
for me, I'm gonna. It's like $10 to $12 to $15 a month.
Apple's a way worse company than fucking Spotify.
I'm gonna go 7 months without paying for the service. That's like $100 I'm saving because I jumped ship from Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically I got paid $100 not to use Spotify.
Yes, and I'm gonna do something similar. And
that's how I see it.
Yeah.
All right, now we can jump into the show proper. Now we had our
there are
rant
practical
about
reasons.
Spotify.
There are practical reasons. Really good reasons to leave Spotify that have nothing to do with pretending that you suddenly have this moral compass because the fucking media's told you you have to. And it's like, dude, Apple's a way worse company. They took so much begging for them to not fucking kill like orphans in mines to get their little flecks of gold and shit. People kill themselves making your fucking iPhones. You're gonna draw the line at Rogan saying something like, dude,
everything you do is bad for every reason, but switching providers of anything gives you benefits.
Yes.
I just switched from AT&T because of OAN.
Yes.
I know Verizon's probably just as evil.
Yeah.
But we got to, let's see, by switching over, we save $40 a month. My phone works everywhere in Vermont now as opposed to only 20% like AT&T's coverage.
Yes.
They gave Kelly a free Apple Watch.
Yep.
And we got Disney Plus free for 6 months, Apple Music free for 6 months, Discovery Plus free for 6 months.
Oh, dude,
the package for switching over basically is saving us $1,000.
Well, because they know they're like, okay, people who switch generally it takes a lot for them to get out of their plans and stuff for them to even want to switch. So they're like, oh, this is. They're looking at you as a 5-10 year like commitment to them essentially.
They basically were like, here's $1,000 worth of goodies and discounts. Do you want them? And I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Also, I can say fuck you to AT&T over OAN.
I told you my plan is to do that, but once again, I was thinking about doing it anyway, and I was like, I don't really have a qualm with that because way worse shit is already on every other platform.
Yeah, just do it to get yours.
Yeah, but ultimately,
then white knight it, and on social media be like, yeah, fuck AT&T because OAN. Well, you're actually counting those.
No, that's not.
Blood money bucks.
Yeah, to me, that's not white knighting. That's just like being part of the fucking like the little pathetic little problem of a bunch of people just whining about shit because they saw it on TV. So I intentionally am fucking myself over, which is way dumber. By not doing it.
I need those little irritating things to push me, and if that's all it takes to push me, fine.
At the end of the day, if it works for you, then that's the way to do it. And honestly, it's good to have things get you out of your little zone, your comfort zones like that. So,
whoa, there's a cat taller than me right here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Okay, the listener can't see this, but the cat is on the stove above my head in a different room and is like pawing at the walls. This is crazy. Okay, that was distracting. You know what's also distracting? This theory I came up with that I've been shopping around to anyone who will listen.
Okay, well, right now we've got one listener left after all my rant about Spotify.
All right, ready? This is my theory. Ghosts didn't exist in the overall culture of society of humans until windows were a thing.
Do you mean like people look in windows and they see ghosts?
Like people, ever walk by a window at night and the lighting is just right where you can see like a faded version of yourself walking in the window?
Yeah.
The lighting is just right and it's transparent.
Oh, so you mean people's
reflections.
Reports of seeing ghosts
are just people who weren't used to windows. It's a new technology.
That would explain.
And then they saw their own reflection and they didn't know what was up. Then they probably turned off the light real quick and were like, "Did you see that?
It's gone.
It's gone."
Yeah.
Or do you think it was someone outside? And they go and look and there's like, say it's winter and there's snow. There's no footprints and they're like,
Yeah.
A ghost. Like maybe ghosts
I
existed
saw somebody
a
looking
little
in the
before.
window at me. Yeah.
I think ghosts existed prior to Windows.
But those are just retarded people who just see things.
But I think once Windows were invented, ghosts really took off. Because if you think about it, a lot of the ghost stories came from the time periods of like Dickens and such.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is when Windows first
We were just
happened.
talking about the Victorian era. Yeah. It's like around that time where suddenly
That's
people had
when ghost stories popped
panes of
off.
glass. Yeah.
We had haunted manors and stuff before the Victorian era, before the Windows era.
Yeah.
There are no famous ghost stories. There's no famous cavemen ghost stories.
I've
There's spiritual stories within Native American tribes, but they don't really talk about like specters haunting their teepee.
And even those are
There's
different.
never
Those
been
are
a
like,
haunted teepee.
There's spirits versus ghosts, whereas like
Or
there's
haunted wigwam.
It's sort of like yokai in Japan.
Yeah, you
where
have a
there's different-
spirit of the forest,
Yeah,
spirit
there
of
are
the
different
river.
like spiritual elements,
but you
like
don't
a
have
straight out
old
a dead person. Yeah.
Dick's ghost haunting the crick.
Yeah. Old.
You
old-
literally don't have old. Yeah, that didn't happen until we got to a certain point of technology where Windows existed.
Yeah.
And then I feel like everyone just in their little dumb monkey brain back then was like, "Oh my god, it's a ghost."
Well,
I mean, first jump to.
I mean, that's the reason a lot of shit like that exists. Is like explanations. People don't have an explanation, but we don't want to just say we don't know.
But I think
So,
that's
like,
why
yeah,
it popped
probably a
off
dead
so
person
hard.
got up from the ground, but like just their spirit vapor is walking around. That's way easier than me admitting that I fucking don't know something.
Yep. I'm just saying basically that the invention of mass-produced Windows created the Gothic era.
Yeah. Goddamn.
It's my theory, and it may be completely off.
I think I like.
And
it.
I'm not saying that people before the Gothic era and the Windows era didn't see a ghost.
Oh, there's
or
definitely
tell a story about a
reports
ghost.
about ghosts, and
But I think
spirits
that's really where it
and
just
demons and
fucking
whatever.
went.
But you're talking about like an entity haunting a location, especially in
like children weren't being picked up in windowless vans and raped before the invention of the van, and now we all know about windowless vans and pick on them and joke about them.
Yeah.
But prior to the windowless van,
windows
that
are-
wasn't a thing we joked about.
So windows are they've caused ghosts, but also probably prevented a lot of windowless van rapes because all of a sudden a lot more people are like, wait a minute, vans are supposed to have windows. I almost said windows are supposed to have vans, but yeah. And then it's just like every window you have has a van. No, I don't think so.
No, it's
I
a
like
theory of mine that's where it originated. Not originated. That's where it gained its wings and really took off.
Can I put you on the spot a little bit here and just
Yeah.
say I want you to theorize this now instead of that? Is when I read this, I thought you meant the company Windows. So if I were to ask you, what does Windows, Microsoft Windows versus Ghosts theory mean? What did you mean by that, Scott?
There's been a lot less ghosts since Windows platform came up.
Unless you count the ghosts in my computer, because it's always freezing.
Less because we spent more time looking at those screens and less time looking at the windows of our house.
Yeah, Windows are like the old TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to watch Ghost TV?
Yeah, you put me on the spot hard in that one. My only thought was
Yeah.
is to reverse it, is that the invention of Microsoft Windows then created less ghosts because we're looking at the world less. We're looking at our screen more.
Although people then believe in ghosts more because then they read online about everybody's crazy ghost stories from the internet.
But they're reading about the stories, not making their own.
True.
That's the
But
problem.
no, they're reading about it and then it gets back in their head and that's what carries it through. Because guess what? People are not that confused by Windows anymore.
So one kind of Windows popularized ghosts, the other kind of Windows maintains that popularity.
It. Yes, I think so.
So now we need a third type of window in the future.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
The quantum window, yeah.
Or just like a cult that gains like Christianity level fame starting small.
Yeah.
And they're called the Windows.
The Windows. Oh, actually, I kind of like that as a cult
The
name.
Windows.
Because it's like, the window to God or the window to God.
What are the windows? We're all windows. You can
We're all
see.
windows.
You can see through all of us. To
Except for
God.
Bob. Bob, he's a door. He's a piece of shit.
Bob hasn't gone up the right levels yet. He's a 10th level door.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, not as bad as Jim. He's
So he becomes a window if he passes this next level? No, screen door.
Screen door.
It's got lots of levels.
Yeah. Screen door.
Pretty soon he'll be a dorm screen for a window.
Weatherproofing.
It's a whole Windows-based religion. Doors and windows. Portals.
Yeah, exactly.
Portals.
Portals, yes. But yes, it's the religion is called portals, and the highest element is a
clean window.
When you're a clean window, proper weatherproofing, so all good. Okay. We're into bullet points now.
Yeah, this is the part of the show where we do the exact same thing we do later in the show, but the stories don't have enough meat on them. The title kind of says it all, so we just read the title, riff on it a little bit. If we make content in this portion, that's a bonus. If we don't, fuck it.
I'm glad we have a short list of them because we're about where we usually are about when we stop because we had that little rant. So it's good. I think we're still on target for our usual.
First bullet point. The military says the Nintendo generation has some weak-ass bones.
So Nintendo generation, is that our generation?
The article actually went into...
Millennials.
The article went into that and said that technically millennials are the Nintendo generation. They grew up with it. Gen Xers really are because they grew up with Pong, and so they got the little leg up, and Atari. And then what they're actually calling the Nintendo generation
fucking wrist control for the old Atari. Remember that? Like, at least you had like some movement.
What the generals and military people are talking about is the millennial generation.
Yeah.
They're inappropriately labeling them the Nintendo generation when they're
sedentary lifestyle.
Millennials are the PlayStation generation.
Yes, and I would say more than that because video games were pretty much brand new to us who are really the Nintendo generation. So by the
Your
time
average millennial when they were like 12 got a PlayStation 1.
Yeah, because so for me, with my Nintendo, like I was allowed to play 30 minutes a day, and then I had to go play outside and stuff like that, old school style. Whereas now, I would say it was when people started getting into these sitting in front of your. Although I had friends who were able to just stay home and sit in front of the system, so maybe it's more of just my upbringing. My
parents would let me beat a game. Like I could play Mario for 8 hours straight, beat it, and then they'd be like, "No, you don't touch that for a while. Go outside." Yeah, well, I'd be like, "Mom and Daddy, I beat the Koopas."
Yeah,
and they'd be like, "I don't know what you're talking about, son, but if it's not drugs, get out of the house. Go start a fire in the woods like a normal kid."
Give the $40. Go give it a T-bone down the street. And
I remember doing that too. I remember starting fires in caves in the woods to see where the other end of the cave was. Like I'd find a little cave, start a fire in the mouth of it, put rocks against it so the smoke couldn't come out at me, but had to travel the length of the cave. And then come out a different part of the mountainside.
We lived at different times.
So I'd know where the cave went, and it meant nothing to me except it was a thing I could do, and I got to play with fire and not burn stuff down because it was a cliff face.
Younger listeners, we might as well have grown up with Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, I don't think any.
First of all, they don't even know what Little House on the Prairie is. Yeah.
Even my kids didn't play like that. They didn't go off in the woods for 9 hours a day and never. No one knew where the fuck
just
they
be
were.
Like when it's time for dinner, come home. I don't even have a watch.
Just when the sun starts coming down the hill, it's time to go home.
We put a stick in the ground and get a sundial going. Oh shit, yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't miss those days. A lot of people talk like that, in my day. I'm like, you know what? Y'all have it better, and you also have it harder here at this time of the. I'm so glad I grew up that.
I had lots of fun being completely ignored as a kid. It was cool,
and I'm very happy.
I'd jump on my bicycle in middle school and just go to a town.
Yeah,
and hang out with kids.
I only have the woods to keep. Well, the woods and my 5 siblings, so I had a large family. So that was.
I think the best part was just going off into the woods and not returning until dinner.
That was my favorite.
And they didn't know where you went or what you did. Nope. You'd start trouble and stuff.
And I would I would be terrified if I was coming back and I heard my mom yelling at me. It meant I was late and I didn't quite judge my time very well.
And usually that meant nothing anyway.
I mean, my mom would, she'd
beat you.
Yeah.
Beat you senseless.
Yeah, well, I got wooden spoon and belt treatment bad as a kid, man. I grew up in old school fucking household, but not saying people should do that to people. I'm just saying.
They would just make better people if they did it. I'm not saying they should. Just if you want a little pansy kid, then don't beat them.
Hey, you know what? We wouldn't have this fucking Nintendo generation with their gelatin skeletons and shit.
Yeah, basically the military recruiters are inappropriately saying that Gen Z and millennials are the Nintendo generation and that they have weak bones from sitting around playing video games. But
they're literally seeing an uptick in physical weakness to their brittle bones. So when I read soldier skeleton, I thought they meant the thing that makes you a soldier. I'm like, oh no, they literally mean the actual physical material that makes up your bones.
Well, have you seen Gen Zers? If we go to war, we're fucked unless it's a drone war.
I was going to say it most likely will be a drone war, which is great for us and bad for
hire all those kids. Give them.
They already do. The
military uses Xbox controllers for some of their drones.
They already recruit people from gaming, gamers and shit like that, because that is how our wars are going to be fought. It just sucks if you live in a country that doesn't have multiple trillions of dollars to pour toward drones and pimply faced teens. Oh yeah, it was I think going back to not to talk about other people's podcasts, but I think it was. Henry Zabrowski from last podcast on the left. If you hear some noise in the background, it's my cat playing. I'm going to go ahead and let him. Saying it's somebody's going to get a fucking Purple Heart Award from falling down the stairs getting a Hot Pocket while they were
That's amazing.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, you're right. They're going to be hurt in the line of duty while they're at home and they get carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yep.
It's the way things go. I mean, as long as you're in part of a rich company that can bomb people with little remote controls.
All right, next bullet point.
Yep.
First ever NFT vending machine in New York City out of NFTs. They ran out of the thing it doesn't even have because it has nothing in it.
No, exactly.
The vending machine would spit out a fortune cookie-like piece of paper with a code that you could go to a website and type in, and then you'd get your NFT. They didn't even say in the story what the fuck they were. A smiling picture of a dog.
Because it
you
doesn't
get to
matter.
own that dog.
Because it doesn't matter. South Park got it so right on their recent.
It doesn't matter.
And we're not. We had to talk before the show about we're
How
not
we're old men
anti.
and we don't get it.
I'm not like anti everything crypto or anti like certain things. I understand every time somebody tries to like, no, you don't get it. I'm like, no, I get it. I just think it's stupid. And I'm an artist, and I understand the power of having control, but I still don't think it's exactly the same. Be like, no, old man, synthesizers versus blah, electric guitars versus some still fucking different.
I still want a real thing. If I buy a comic book, I'm getting a reproduction of the artist's art. If I want the NFT of the comic, I buy a page of the artist's work, and I can frame it and put it on my wall.
And I guess what they're saying is that,
I want tangible things in my life.
Yes.
And digital content I'm not afraid of because I game like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I have tons of digital wristwatches, hats, like character shit. And sure, they're not true NFTs because you can't take them from one game and put them in another game.
I just pictured you actually having like a baseball cap with a little LED on it, like a digital hat, not a digital good that you bought in a game. But yes,
but I've bought digital goods in
loot
games.
crates and shit.
Yeah, if you ever bought a skin for a character, that's an NFT.
I spent $1,400 last week on gems for Candy Crush. That's not a problem. I needed to get past a level. I still somehow failed, and still I don't understand Candy Crush.
All right, next one. Ottawa is getting a Valentine's Day redo because of those fucking right-wing truckers who decided to destroy the city's economy and ruin Valentine's Day for everyone. Because Ottawa's doing a second Valentine's Day.
Because mandates were ruining the economy.
Yeah. These people don't think, and it had nothing to do with the mandates. That was just their smoke.
Well, and especially they were when you look at because whether I agree with the protest or not, I absolutely.
You just got to look at the money.
I'm just like it's at the end of the day. If people were doing that, and I realize it's Canada.
They tried doing it in Pennsylvania this weekend.
The two flat tires.
The organizer had mysteriously had two flat tires. Yeah. I'm telling you, if I saw that truck, I'd probably pop his tires.
Oh yeah. That's you can slide. Oh yeah, where were you? And
I don't like these people. There's such a thing as a trucker who delivers your goods and is a hardworking American. Then there's a douchebag who's like, I'm going to stop everyone from going to work today because I don't want to wear a mask. Sir, there's no mask mandate, but I'm not gonna.
That's the thing. Okay,
there's not even a fucking mandate.
If there was a mandate and they had like some kind of actual point and it was based on real information, I would say I don't agree with it. I don't like the fact that they're blocking this up, but when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter if I agree with it. Their right to protest, et cetera, because people make the same argument. But the fact that they're protesting something that isn't really a thing, and also there's clearly like an underlying, seems like a ulterior motive.
They all have a white nationalist streak through them.
Yeah, there's and so it's like, okay, there's a lot of that in those circles anyway.
Don't see any black truck drivers out there.
There's also the fact that there's pretty much
literally
all but no, especially even less now, all but no public like a positive public opinion for those. It's like 30% of the people actually. I'm pulling that number out of my ass, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. So don't quote me on that. But
you're not far off.
But yeah, I know it's far less than the majority actually agree with what they're doing. But of course now for some reason. America, who's supposed to be paying attention to our own backyard, decides to, our media decides to hop in the fray and actually make it a bigger thing than it actually really is. And of course, you hear them up there talking like the trucker being like, yeah, it's great, all this attention we got from, fucker shit brains and whatnot. And it's like, they didn't call them that, but I did. Yeah, that's right. Zing. Got him.
Next bullet point.
Yep.
Man wipes out the internet for 2 towns trying to stop his kids from using social media. I read this story too. He did a jammer that he turned on at midnight, and he didn't realize it had a range of 2 towns.
Yes, whatever 2 towns. First of all, look on the box. If it has a range in towns, don't use it.
Yeah. How many? Yeah, it's got little houses, or not houses, like a map community from an angle, like very detailed, but it's got like 5 of them in a row.
You can actually...
this will wipe out 5 towns and the city. The last one's like an actual bunch of skyscrapers.
Yeah, exactly. You could actually scan a QR code and then hold it up and it tells you your location and it then bleeds out so you can actually see exactly what you're going to be fucking up. He just wanted to...
Why can you buy something that could jam
I don't know.
Like, can I buy that? Can I turn it on at home and just wipe out Barry's internet?
Just like, you just have a bad day. You got fucking...
fuck all you. Every one of you is working from home today.
You're fucking
day off.
Panera
gets a day off.
Panera Bread's fucking too expensive, so you just fucking get all pissy like, hey, wait, 40 minutes for my McDonald's day. I guess nobody has internet now. And then
he's got to be lucky he lived in a rural area. Like, if you did that in Barrie or Montpelier, Vermont, like where we live, you could wipe out, like, servers for businesses.
Yeah.
You could turn off actual businesses.
This was actually in France. This person did this, and actually,
Oui.
which is funny because I'm trying to figure out how much money it would actually be because it's 30,000 euros, but this is also a New Zealand story, so it's 50,000 New Zealand dollars. So now I'm just too confused but I know 30,000 euros is more than that in dollars. It's probably close to, I don't know, it's 1.5.
Aussie bucks are considered close to Canadian bucks, so they're probably close to New Zealand bucks too.
Yeah, I like the fact that like they just call them New Zealand bucks with an X. You know,
I call them Aussie bucks too.
Yeah.
They're the other
Aussie
buddies.
bucks.
Aussie bucks.
Yeah. It's right.
All right.
They got a kangaroo. Everybody just had a kangaroo dressed as Margaret Thatcher on every piece of money.
Aussie bucks.
Hey, you got your Aussie dollar? Yeah, I got 50 bling blongs. How about you? Yeah, I got hopperoos. Got 40 hopperoos. What's a hopperoo to bling blong conversion again? Oh, I don't know, about 15 bling beams. Anyway, I haven't seen Bruce in a while. He hasn't been able to come over here because of the fucking COVID shit. When COVID's over, we'll get him back. Maybe we'll get him on remote.
COVID's almost over unless something else pops up. Omicron's almost gone, so we're pretty much in the clear.
Yeah, that's what we said before. Like, hey, we got vaccines now.
We need to be in the clear. I'm going on vacation in 4 weeks.
I think, here's the thing. I think
Because
regardless...
I'm going on vacation because I got COVID. It's a reward.
We're finally getting to the point where now even, like, liberals are saying, like, you know what? Even if we're not in the endemic stage, we're in the endemic stage. Like, a variant worse than anything ever that's existed will come out tomorrow and be like, nope, Omicron's over. It's not bad anymore. Yeah. And, like, everybody will be dying, like, we can't do this. And at some point, you do have to look... When people are making the mental health argument at the beginning of it, I'm like, like, chill out for 3 months. And then it's like, chill out for a year. And then when it got beyond that, I'm like, at some point, you do have to, like, especially with kids and stuff, like, the mental health argument now after 2 years, I don't think it's good for society, humanity, and health long term. I think it's better to just, if a few more people die. But I think hopefully we're really in the
we should
endemic stage.
Just do the China model where people, when there's a cold or a flu going around, they just start masking up on their own. Some people do, some people don't. It's just kind of on them.
Oh, masking up, you said. I thought you said mass camp. I was like, they put them in a camp. They just aren't heard from. Just aren't.
Is this pro or anti-mask?
Yeah. Oh, you won't care.
Oh, ow! You just hit me with the butt of your rifle. Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter much.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those camps.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Oh, camps in air quotes on the sign.
I don't want to get hit again, but I also don't know whether to put the mask on or take it. Ow! He hit me again.
He's not worried.
I should know. I should just know.
Doesn't seem to care about my feelings about masks. I should have known campus in quotes on the sign.
But it's very clearly one. We all live in tents.
Yeah.
It's outdoors.
I'm actually wearing a merit badge. I don't know what for. Oh, rifle butting, merit badge. Okay.
Take 3 rifle butts to the head. Here, sew this badge on your uniform.
I don't know how to sew anymore because that part of my brain is gone. What from all the rifle
sew
butts?
It fast enough. But now you need one for 4, so unsew that one.
Shit, I'm in a rifle butt loop. Merit badge butt. All right. So there we go.
There was a bear issue out, where was this, California? No.
Well, it's okay. So this is
where was this?
I would have to look.
Shit, I forgot already.
Yeah, but anyway, so one of the things while you're looking for that, I will say, Tahoe, Lake Tahoe. Yeah, so California. So we it was funny because I read that your version of this story before I actually went and looked for, or rather, the most update. But it was the first time in the same feed I saw like the entire thread of the story essentially because I saw like as I scrolled down, people being like. Hungry bear, one hungry bear, definitely just one bear, terrorizing town and eating all the shit.
Yeah.
And then slowly it's like, hungry bear may not be just one bear. It's like, actually, hungry bear is actually 3 bears.
Yeah, they named the bear Hank the Tank, not Frank the Tank like old school. Yeah. And unless it was Hank the Tank, this is a Berenstain rift kind of moment.
Oh, you're like Mandela effect this motherfucker.
Could be. I thought I found a real Mandela effect the other day when I went to grab Goo Gone from my cupboard to get a sticker off something, and I picked up the can and it said Goof Off on it, and I broke my brain because I'm like, this has always been Goo Gone, and then I googled.
You just bought a real.
I googled, and there's 2 companies that sell the same product, Goo Gone and Goof Off, yellow can, little red spout, almost the same lettering, and I don't believe Goof Off existed. Until I pulled that can out from the cupboard and saw it wasn't Goo Gone.
And then literally all the quantum shit happened in the universe where the Mandela rift opened up, and then suddenly you were like quantum tunneling from your computer to a fucking version of Google in a different universe and viewing the fact that it's always existed. So you're like, oh, I
swear to God, until that moment that I read that can, I had a can of Goo Gone. And I swear I've read it as Googon a million times. And I'm 43 years old. I've never heard of a product called Goof Off that
either.
I bought and own.
I was going to ask if you had actually looked it up.
I bought and own it. And I swear when I bought it, I said, I need to get some Googon. I went to the store. I found a can that said fucking Googon on the label. And I paid for it and I brought it home.
Yeah.
And what happened? It changed to Goof Off.
Schrodinger's Googon.
I swear that there was only one company, one can, one brand, one name. And now there's two. And
I'm gonna be there with you. I've never heard of Goof Off, and honestly, it's now that
apparently from the internet, it's more widely used and known than Googon.
No, it's not.
Googon's
That's the
rare
Mandela.
one.
That's the Mandela effect. Googon is the only thing that's ever existed. It's the only thing I've ever used or seen. So therefore, it's the only truth.
Actually, like any listeners who are listening to this right now, hit us up on Twitter at the Lost at Home.
Yes, are you part of the problem?
Or Facebook or anywhere. Just hit us up where you see the Lost at Home podcast and literally tell us. We'd like to know.
What did you grow up using and huffing? Yeah, Googon or Goof Off?
Googon. There was no Goof Off. It didn't exist
before
a week ago.
There still is not. Now that we have a record of it now on the podcast and it's out there, now the quantum universe has to correct itself and make sure that
we're going to cause a ripple.
Linear, like it's funny because I actually heard somebody the other day said that Abraham Lincoln was shot. I'm like, no, he wasn't. So that happened in a different universe too.
I'm holding to that. I went online and all these websites were explaining how he got shot, and no, he didn't.
Just the fact that your one
You're just wrong.
Your one Googon thing rewrote history enough to where now Abraham Lincoln literally, for some reason, not even didn't get shot, is still living today. Actually, he turned into a virulent racist and shot Martin Luther King.
Yes.
So, yes.
And his family owns the Goof Off company.
Exactly. They all
it had to be.
Way to go, universe! You really
thank you for backing me up on that. That you've never heard of Goof Off.
There still is no such thing until just now. Yes, in fact, even until now, I didn't even know if that was a real thing, and now maybe it just started existing because you just said it.
Oh no, I picked up the can and looked at it, and then did the Google. So I had two versions.
Google and Googon and Goof Off.
Yeah, I googled Googon to find Goof Off.
I love alliteration.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like I was taking a dick when I was explaining to my wife too.
Just honey, just
well,
wait.
Did you Berenstain it again? Another riff?
And you Berenstain all your pants again. Yeah. That's right.
That's the only other one that really strikes true for me too. Is the Berenstain.
Well, we've covered.
It's the Berenstain Bears.
In fact,
apparently it's Stain.
If anybody wants to just ever go back and really dig into our catalog, we have one called the Mandela Effect. I think it was called that. It's something about it.
I'm afraid by the time this airs, people are going to be like, "What's Googon?" Like the product won't even exist. Yeah. It'll just be Goof Off.
Oh, what's that? Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call from King Abraham Lincoln.
He's curious why you're trying to make a ripoff of Goof Off called Googon.
Yeah.
Why would you make that?
Even
Google on the nose, huh? It tells you what it does right on the label.
Yeah.
Goof Off, what's that tell you? Well, I should huff it?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I became the president of this company and the president of the United States again and king of America.
Literally, one of them tells you what it does. The other one kind of implicitly tells you to put it in a bag and huff it.
Every bottle of Goof Off is made with at least one drop of Martin Luther King's blood, who, of course, I did shoot. I also talk like Kennedy.
Why not?
Yes, Bucket. I am future Lincoln, after all. I can talk however I want. I'm hundreds of years old.
Future Lincoln every night goes to bed in like one of those Boba Fett back to the tanks.
Yes.
But full of Goof Off.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It just fills up.
Yeah, it protects it. People try to shoot. It just like sucks it in and then spits it back out. Like, I see you tried to get... Now I talk like this, by the way. I see you tried to get through my Goof Off exterior. Oh, and then Googon, you find somebody from a different parallel dimension comes with their Googon. It's a goo battle. It's a goo off.
Oh, also, since we're talking about social media, hit up the lostatompodcast.com, our new website. I figured we haven't shouted out
Same
in a
domain,
month.
Just a new website. Yes, yeah. You've been putting some work into it. You've been rocking it, and
it's current. It is current. Awesome. Everything on it is current. We don't have an About Us page, but that's it.
We got us onto a better, more sustainable platform.
I need a wacky photo of you.
Okay, I'll make one tonight. That's right.
Yeah, not go look one up. I'll just make one.
Oh yeah, I'll make a new one.
We both need a goofy photo.
I want something up to date. I don't want people looking at me thinking I'm skinny and shit. Gotta have one of my fresh ones.
I want a photo from like when I was 18. Just ride it out for the rest of my life.
Oh, you know what? I have that.
Pimples.
I do
different
have
glasses.
I do have that picture of me in the music room pretending to have sex with a saxophone from when I was 17.
Okay.
I'll put that up for you.
You used to try to have sex with a lot of things when you were 17.
Yeah, I succeeded in having sex with a lot of things except for a woman.
I very clearly remember you fucking doorways a lot.
Yeah, it's funny because my buddy,
It's just humping door jams.
a friend of mine I recently reconnected with from middle school has been reminding me of all the stuff I used to like get into that I just blacked out. And I was like, holy shit, I was such a shit back then. But how many times I definitely had an in-school suspension for like simulating sexual acts on a chair. Because I was up hovering over top of it, like humping. I was like, is this how you do it?
But this was back in the 90s, so they weren't all PC and clear about it. You tried to fuck a chair.
Yeah. My parents didn't even get a call. They just gave
Jeremiah
me in-school,
tried to fuck a chair again.
In-school suspension, yeah.
What'd you do? We hit him with the chair. We figured it might scare him away from fucking other chairs.
Yeah, we sent him down
we
to
associate chairs with pain.
Send him down the old... Yeah, now he's got one of those. He's both has a chair phobia and a chair fetish. It's crazy. Yeah,
and now he needs to be hurt by a chair while he jerks off.
Yeah, really fucked him up good. Man, I'm so glad it's the 90s. Why'd you say that way?
Nothing bad can happen from any of these actions.
Yep. Oh, yeah, there's no social media yet. In fact, I might just invent it.
Life was good in the 90s. No one was doing anything weird except for all the weird shit that was happening.
Well, I have to get reminded about shit
like child abuse,
like horrible shit that I did. I have to get reminded of it by like old friends who were there because people can't just like decide 15 years to later dig it up on Twitter and be like, you're probably the same person. Let's like hate you for doing something 15 years ago. Like I was pretty young. I was doing stupid things. And honestly, I'd fucking share today. So I haven't changed that much. I'd make sure to get consent.
I changed my Reddit account to a brand new one because I didn't like my old one.
I thought also you just got kicked off Reddit too many times.
That too. And my VPN slipped the other day, so they saw my real IP and they banned that account
and
too.
But
I like my usernames because I have to create a new one so often now. I'm getting creative. Okay. My new one, you know the game Punch Out? Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Of course I do.
My new username is Tongue Punch Out.
Oh, Tongue Punch. Yeah.
Tongue Punch, Punch Out, Tongue Punch Out.
Yeah.
I'm getting creative.
I like it. Good. Tongue Punch Out on Reddit.
Don't go looking for me. It'll be dead the next time.
I was just gonna say before this airs, it will not be there.
My VPN is off now because it was fucking with a different app on my phone. So the next time I go into Reddit and I forget to turn it on before I go in, it's gonna boot me and I'll have to do a new name.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Just keep going.
Booted from Reddit for life.
Yeah.
I'm actually just going to change our house's IP address to make it easier soon.
Yeah, man, you and your all your.
Hey, I'm in IT. I'm the right person to do it.
Yeah, I just surprised you haven't stopped at the pro-slavery Reddit post. Actually, yeah. By the way, Scott,
black people had more slaves than white people. Everyone knows this, and if you're saying you don't, then you're just in one of those Berenstein moments.
Yeah, every Disney cartoon where they're smiling and eating watermelon makes them look pretty happy to me. I don't know about that.
That's why my timeline pictures that.
Now they canceled me. Cancel culture, bloop, 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 etc. Man can't even fuck a kid and put a video of it on the internet anymore. What next? You're coming for my grilled cheese sandwich? I think you're jumping to conclusions, sir. I think it's fine for you to be canceled for
all them innocent slave catchers who were put out of work when the slaves were free.
They don't
think about
slave
them.
Catchers.
They didn't eat. They didn't eat. They had no money. They didn't catch slaves, so what they starved to death.
They could hardly even afford another slave to take care of.
No one ever thinks about the poor slave catchers.
Oh, the slave catchers, boy, howdy. They were out of work. Something fierce.
Let me go warm up my 18-wheeler. I've got to go block a highway.
Yeah. They had to get promoted to dog catcher. Jesus Christ. Because yes, I'm making a statement about how they used to perceive people as less than animals. Not me, Jeremiah, saying that they are.
I think the voices we were doing were clear.
Okay. I probably should have done that in my real voice because now it sounds like that guy's apologizing and not Jeremiah. Okay.
But explaining that in that voice also.
Oh fuck. Oh, Jeremiah's not here no more. Oh shit, I've gone too deep. All right.
I'll be explaining later on, like to some other friend, be like, "Yeah, I really went overboard with the slave catcher voice, and I think people misconstrued my message."
Yeah.
We don't want to hear what now?
Yeah. After just hearing that bit, I don't want nothing to do with you.
I think when I talked like a slave owner, people really didn't get the message I was trying to put through.
Didn't have anything to do with being a slave owner. Okay. Well, then I think they got it fine. Okay. Anyway, do you want to go?
Time for web dropping.
Dropping 2.0.
All right, we are into web droppings.
That's right. We got just a couple of stories this time. We went a little long with our other pieces.
Just a couple? You mean like the two options of Goo Gone and Goof Off?
Yeah, exactly. Still on that one.
I'm gonna go home, pull it out of my cupboard, and be like, God damn! Yeah, like I'll have a third name.
Yeah. Golgor the Magnificent.
Well, first it did what it said, Goo Gone. Then it said Goof Off, which I guess is what you do when you huff it. It needs to get further away from its original design.
It's just going to be called red paint. And it's like, wait, what? I'm supposed to take fucking shit off the thing.
God fun.
Yeah.
God fun.
Yeah.
That's what we'll say next.
God fun.
Goo-gon, Goof Off, God fun.
And then Godsmack. Wait, this is a whole bit of viral advertisement for Godsmack's new album. Godsmack, that band from Boston that had that one hit that one time, maybe in the 90s? Yep. They're back, and this time they're affecting your reality.
They got famous in the future when quantum reality is more of a malleable thing, and they're going back to do their advertising campaign in our era.
Yep, which is funny. They just went back to here, not back to when they lost their popularity, just maybe kept it instead.
You gotta strike when the coals are cold. Yeah. You know that saying.
I don't think you know sayings very well.
Why would you strike when the coals are hot? You just burn your hand.
Exactly.
You're punching hot coals, you burn
I do know what I'm talking about. I am Godsmack.
Strike when the coals are cold, and you're just a winner.
This guy, yeah. I don't think
winning at what?
I don't know. I wish I knew, but I'm Godsmack.
Yeah, the lead singer Godsmack just goes around saying, I'm Godsmack.
Hey guys, remember me? I'm Godsmack. Yeah.
Was that the name of a band? Nah, just me. Godsmack.
No, just me. Yeah. I had some other people in there. Yeah. Well, I'm
like
future.
Madonna.
Yeah. Yeah. Only nobody's heard of me.
You know, I put out a lot of music, but you never hear the names of the people in the band.
Yeah, me,
Madonna
Godsmack.
had a band.
Future Godsmack. Coming here.
Future Gods.
Yeah. No, people still do not like my music in the future. It's too bad.
All right, here's a new single. Vote Godsmack. Wait, vote? What?
Oh, shit. I fucked up
running for something.
I fucked something up real bad. Got to get back to the future before I become a leader.
Oh, my God. To see those little lawn signs? That just Godsmack.
I don't want to make... Just to be, like, randomly
just to be
put
weird.
Out... town meeting days coming. Just vote Godsmack. No explanation. Take it right off. Day after.
Write it in yourself, too, just to make sure it gets at least one vote.
Yeah, vote Godsmack. Because people are going to drive, like,
Put them on 90 lawns in one town and make it a viral thing. Like Godsmack come to your town.
Godsmack.
And if, like, the summer rolls around, Godsmack comes to your town because of your viral voting thing.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just like, so what do we do with Godsmack now that they're here? Like, no one really wants them to play for free, even.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just a sign guy. I don't know what I was supposed to do with him.
Everyone's just like, you were almost mayor. Of what? This town.
Yeah, man, you like, for some reason, lost by only 14,000 votes.
Wow, you think this town, 14,000 people vote?
No, actually, that's how bad it was. Somehow they got 3,000 people to unvote from other towns.
I was going back through voting records of the town I live in, which is this neighboring town of the capital town that we're in right now. And there was like a thing last year where it lost by 10 votes. And I was like, wait, how many people voted? It was like 4,000 total.
Yeah, I was going to say that's 25% of the vote. Yeah, like
it was a big percentage kind of. I was
that's
like, whoa.
Yeah, there's points where like not single votes.
You got to vote locally in smaller communities.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. You know, that's why
they're trying to put Q people on our school boards.
Really important.
They're trying to put Q on our school boards, and if I learn one thing from Star Trek: The Next Generation, Q's a tricky fucker.
That's right.
He'll turn your banana into an orange, and he won't apologize. He'll just go blip and blink out.
Did that happen?
And he got an orange when you wanted a banana. I'm not having a mayor who does that.
Did that happen in an episode? I do not know.
I don't remember Star Trek: The Next Generation well enough to know exactly the shenanigans Q got up to, but if they're going to put a Q on our school board,
they're going to be turning.
I'm drawing a line at metaphysical quantum beings.
You guys hate bananas, or maybe it's oranges. I've lost track already of what I was talking about.
I'm racist for the future. I'm anti-quantum beings.
Yeah, exactly.
We know they'll be around, and I'm putting up stakes right now. I'll burn them. I'll segregate them.
But I ain't racist.
I'm not racist against anything in the moment, so lay off. Yep, I picked my battle. It's a future war.
I'm not racist technically until that black person exists.
It's a future race war.
I am both racist and not racist at the same time.
I'm Schrodinger's racist.
I think that's the name of the episode. Schrodinger's racist. I almost said
he's both racist and not racist at the same time until his future vision comes true and proves him to be one or the other.
Until he sees a black person. Oh, so just a racist. Okay. So
fuck them quantum beings.
It turns out I was
and the that's went full racist.
Yep. Oh, okay. I guess we know which way I went and leaned in Schrodinger's box there.
To be fair, I only don't like the N-words when they go into space. They should walk on the ground like God intended. What about white people? No, they're angels. They should fly to the heavens.
That's right.
Oh, we gotta unpack that one.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's racist. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the first story. Do you want to lead into it?
Absolutely. So, U.S. House candidate sorry for intoxication during sleepover. Now, I don't even know why.
That's a weird name for a U.S. House candidate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's polling very highly.
U.S. candidate, sorry for puking at a sleepover.
Her real name is Abby Broyles. How she does not just have a cooking show on YouTube just with the name alone. I don't know why, but she is 32 and she is a house candidate for in Oklahoma. And now here's the thing: I don't even know why I opened the story because that doesn't sound very interesting. But I was glad I did because it turns out it wasn't. I was like, oh, why is this? Okay, she got drunk. I think maybe I was like gonna get pissed at like, oh, people can't even get drunk anymore. She got intoxicated at a Valentine's Day weekend sleepover for middle school aged girls, berated several of the children, and vomited in a hamper. Which I just love that. I just love. Like,
I want her to be in pajamas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just like with a whole bottle of white wine, be like, yeah.
No. Rosé.
Yes. Yeah.
It's got to be shit, like absolute.
Oh,
shit.
not even not like good rosé. You mean like Franzia boxed wine?
Yeah. Oh, she's carrying the box like a boombox.
But she carried the box like a boombox. Like
she sips off the cap, like suckles at it like a teat.
You know what, Becky? I already think you're that fucking hot, man. I don't think you and Tim are gonna be together much longer. And you're a fucking bitch.
Who has to count while I drink this wine out of the box like a hamster?
Yeah.
He holds up and just licks the little hole.
Which one of you tiny little pecker boys are gonna fuck me tonight? I'm Congress.
I'm Congress. I don't know why you hate me so much, Becky. Just because I fucked your mom.
God, I said
you fucked my mom?
Yeah.
I swing both ways, drunk and sober.
Yeah. It's only because I thought I was walking in your dad. It turns out she was taking a piss, so I drank it and I fucking licked her, and she was fine with it. And you know what? I stuck this bottle of Franzia up her pussy, which is weird because it's a box.
Jenny, do you have like a hairdryer? I parked my Miata in your pool. I don't know why it's in there, but it's wet, and I'm gonna need your hairdryer, and I don't need you being a little cunt. You're a little cunt. Oh, you're crying like a cunt.
If the officer asked you were driving, okay? Because they can't get you because you're a minor. So you're gonna be fine. Don't worry.
Get in the car in the pool. Yeah. Get under the water in the car in the pool. And when the cop comes, you just stay with the windows up.
I'll eat your pussy real good if you do that for me. Okay? It's like I ate your mom.
She goes from being a drunk and a bad driver to being a pedophile.
Yeah, it's a fucking fine line.
I ate your mom's pussy. You probably got one. How old are you?
That's right.
Did your pussy grow in yet?
I eat the door you came out of. I might as well.
Wow.
Well, this is drunk Abby Broyles talking here.
You see this mouth? It's been where you've been.
Yeah, that's right.
I tried to suck a little Abby out of your mom.
Yeah, that's right.
With my tongue.
I gave her abortion. You were gonna have a brother.
I tongued her so hard I killed your brother.
That's right. You don't have a brother.
He is gonna be born, and now he's not.
Yeah, maybe he still will be, but
she'll say it was a miscarriage, but it wasn't.
No,
it was a miscarriage of justice because I could have tongued another baby out of her. Yeah. She stopped me.
Now I ate the baby. It's gonna be my baby. So I'm Congress. She'll go winning by a landslide, Abby Broyles, because people just don't want normal politicians nowadays.
I need to throw up. Who has a hamper? I'm known for hampers.
Every
time I go to a party, I puke in a hamper, and that's what they know me for.
They know
me for the hamper trick.
Oh yeah. Oh, now I'm a hamper Abby now. Okay.
It's not a trick when you just puke in a hamper.
Just because I puke in a hamper 15 times doesn't mean I do it every time. But I did.
Come here, girls. Hold my hair.
Yeah. Hold on.
Braid it while I puke.
I gotta puke.
We're doing sleepover things.
Where's your hamper? You don't have a hamper? I can't be here. So,
why would you want to? Okay, if there's no clothes in the hamper, you're basically just puking in a strainer.
People okay, so I have been fortunate in that I have never pissed nor puked in a really weird spot. But like so many of my friends have done both of those.
I've never puked in a weird spot.
And the key is,
I pissed in a weird spot once.
They think it's the toilet. They're just like, oh, or it makes sense to them in the moment.
I pissed in a closet once. Sleepwalking. Drunk sleepwalking.
Okay, and actually, I will say to Abby's, I don't want to say defense, because maybe she shouldn't have been around middle-aged girls and drinking and taking sleeping medication, but it was more likely she was drinking wine and she had some sleeping medication given to her by a friend, and she said, instead of helping me sleep, I hallucinated. Broyles told the station in an interview, I don't remember anything until I woke up or came to, and I was throwing up in a hamper. So, there you go. I mean...
Hey, kids, do you have any of that Goof Off? I need to huff some stuff.
What do you mean, Gugan?
Yeah, the kids are like, you mean Gugan? No, Goof Off.
What?
There's no such thing as Gugan, you stupid cunt.
Jesus Christ.
You Becky, and you, Jennifer, and you, Jennifer, and you, Jennifer. You're all cunts.
Yeah.
Your mom's a cunt, I eat cunt, and you're a cunt. Cunt! And then she just falls forward on her face, breaks her nose on the hardwood floor.
Yep.
blood just starts like pooling
Pulling
out.
out. Becky's little brother's thrown up in the hamper. Fucking, got to get some Goof Off to remove Becky's brother. All right, well, that's some good new content for that. That's really the whole story. I originally was going to put this in bullet points, but I thought, you know what? Let's save some meat and potatoes for the show proper, and I figured we could have some fun with that one.
I lost track of where I'm at.
Oh, so which one are you?
I think...
are you going to
I don't know.
Going Metaverse?
We could probably 5 minutes left of the
Yeah,
show.
but I mean, we don't have to be done in exactly an hour.
That's true. That's true.
But that
that's true.
last one took.
All right,
less than
I'll
10
start with the
minutes.
Metaverse.
That
Let's
last
see
one
where it goes.
tested less than 10 minutes. So.
The Metaverse app. This is the Metaverse app that allows you to connect a Meta Oculus headset to the Metaverse. You need an app to do it. Allows kids to basically do anything adults can do, including going to virtual strip clubs. A researcher posing as a 13-year-old girl witnessed grooming, sexual material, racist insults, and a rape threat in a virtual reality world she was in, pretending to be a 13-year-old girl.
So, like, that thought about, like,
So it's the Wild West.
maybe we shouldn't make the internet more like a real space because people will still behave like they're on the internet. Look what's happening.
Yeah, you can still be anonymous, but now you're looking at the face of an anonymous person's avatar saying, "Hey, little girl, can I stick my virtual dick in you?" And then you're like, by virtual dick, I mean I live in St. Louis.
Yep.
My name is Louis. I drive a windowless van.
Yep.
I like huffing Goof Off. And I think you and me are in the stars.
I got
together.
some Goof Off in my windowless van over there if you want to take a huff there. It's Googon, sir. Oh,
Don't worry, it's not haunted. No window, no ghost.
Yep, that's right.
I'm trying to bring this show all the way back to the beginning.
He's got a t-shirt that says no window, no ghost. Yeah, but what do you mean,
No, my van has no windows, my van has no ghosts.
Yeah.
So, you've never killed someone in the van for it to be haunted by the ghost. No, it's a window thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a window thing, and I've got a whole bunch of Goof Off weekend to huff. You mean Googon? No, I'm one of them quantum pedophiles. Okay, all right, I don't know what that means, but I do not want to go into your van. No, I do not. Anyway, yes.
So the Metaverse basically, dipshit McFuck there, Zuckerberg, made...
Which is funny you call it McFuck.
Made a
Fuckerberg
virtual...
would have worked, but like I like the fact you just didn't even bother.
No.
McFuck. Dipshit McFuck.
Yep.
His name could be Fuckerberg.
Who has
Not
invented-
even worth the fucking time.
Who has invented the virtual version of the windowless van, apparently.
Yes. Hey, what could go wrong here? Let's just roll this out without any checks and balances to speak of.
It's like a porn site where it's like, you must be 18 to enter. Click enter if you're 18.
Okay.
I'm 18.
Yep.
Same thing. I'm going to go to a virtual strip club in the Metaverse. Are you 18? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There's no, it's a little harder to do that in real life in flesh and blood. And again, I'm not being all like, oh, everything virtual, virtual reality thing is fucking awesome. We've been waiting for that. That's been promised since we were kids.
I have issues with
giant corporate entities like this trying to essentially use this to get people sending more of their actual reality hours in their virtual version. It'd be one thing if this was open source Metaverse, even though that would be just as crazy and fucked up. At least it wouldn't be like all corporate interest and all fucking, finance, because I guess if the people wanted it and they were building it and developing it themselves and getting to run it that way, okay, essentially you have virtual communism in that case. Let's allow it. But like, this is just like the worst corporatocracy like shit happening, but they're like, oh, we don't even have to worry about having our own governments because now we can just literally create our own reality where there is no government. We can just allow everything to happen.
See, I'm an early adopter in a lot of things, and I probably won't be with this because you have to use Facebook's Meta Oculus to use most of the internet, the virtual internet, the Metaverse.
The concept of the technology itself is really exciting and amazing.
I don't really want to sit with a headset and a controller in my hand on the couch looking like a spaced out idiot. Right. I prefer to sit on the floor and play video games with a controller in my hand, like a normal spaced out.
Yeah, exactly. No, none of those fucking stupid goggles. And again, this is eventually people are all going to be jacked in and all that. That's kind of
what I'm waiting for. Is like I'm watching an anime right now. It's a hugely popular one called Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
And I see that, and then I think about what the Metaverse is now. It's like wanting to play an open world Call of Duty, and then you're given Pong.
Well, yes,
I want the virtual reality worlds to be fucking amazing.
And what you go
into now is like Max Rebo. That's the guy who plays the keyboard in Star Wars. Max Headroom.
Yeah.
It's that level of internet we're still at. It's been 40 fucking years, and we're still at. Everything's polygons and looks like shit, and there's nothing to do.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
the virtual reality scape has not improved in 40 years.
No,
and they say it has, but it fucking hasn't.
And I think like there finally is enough buy-in and a lot of money to be made on it. So where it is going to, I think we're going to see some huge advancements
Graphics
really quickly.
need to be the first big fix, and then
But
second, it
I
needs
don't
to be
wanna
as
play it,
open world as humanly possible. I don't want a limitation. I want to treat it like the real world.
You know, even when it gets that way, there's still it's only going to be as open as the corporation owning it, and those are the only people who can afford to have those virtual spaces, because there's probably going to be some shitty open source version of something like that people go to, and it's just going to be the equivalent of eating the knockoff brand fucking Frosted Flakes or something like that, like Frosted Forks or whatever.
I think I need it to become like a Neuralink for me to really get into it. I think that's my issue.
Yeah.
Like, and also listeners, check out Sword Art Online. It's a Neuralink virtual reality world where people can go into it. On day one, like 10,000 players all jack their brains into it, and as soon as it starts, they realize that there is no exit button that used to be there when it was in its demo phase. So all 10,000 people are trapped in the game.
Oh, I like that. That's a good.
And
concept.
if you die in the game, you die in the real world. It kills your brain. It like zaps it.
I like that, like cyberpunk, techno scare.
It's like
kind of
Battle
stuff.
Royale in a way,
Yeah.
because they all have to figure out how to get out. And if you win the game, that's how you get out. But you can die playing, and you die in real world. And it has players who are like 12-year-old kids who haven't been away from their parents for a week before. So after a week of being stuck in a virtual world, they commit suicide because they can't take it. Like, it's a very dark show.
Yeah, I've seen it pop up on my
Also, if you don't like things drawn out, holy fucking shit, does that story move fast. The entire plot of the story is the first half of the first season, and then they change plots.
Yeah.
Like, it's fast. Like, I was like, whoa, there's so much to do here. This could be like 20 seasons of this story. 8 episodes later, story's wrapped up.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something new now.
Sweet.
I was like, whoa, okay, this show moves like as fast as fucking possible.
Yeah, I'll have to check with my buddy who's
good.
really into anime if he's seen that one. Because
I'm into season 3, and it's getting interesting. Like, it keeps changing and being weird.
yeah, I like that concept. That's a cool story concept.
I like the idea that because there's more than one video game in our world, there's more than one video game in their world.
Of course.
So at one point, he has to go and help because of his experience, the main character's experience in the first game, in a shooter that's the same style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you go into it, and the whole thing's like Call of Duty instead of Lord of the Rings.
I dig it, man. I might have to check. I might check it out at some point. I mean, that seems
It's
like
fun.
one of those like pop it on in the background kind of deals. But it's,
I have a list of my favorite animes I've ever watched. So if you're ever itching to watch one, I can give you that list. And,
Yeah, my buddy who's really into anime has given me some of his too. But the problem with animes is that like a lot of times they'll be like, oh, maybe I'll pick this up. Like, there's been 65 seasons, 13,000 episodes.
I try to avoid that personally.
My buddy's really into One Piece, and apparently that's been...
Yeah, I won't
it's
even start it.
Yeah, but he's been watching it for like years and years, and now his wife now is just like, oh, maybe I'll pick it up. So he's picking it up like 300 episodes from like the being current, which apparently is like really good.
1 to 2,
like
1 to 2 seasons for an anime that's good is kind of my prime real estate.
Yeah.
I want to watch it and be done.
Yeah, so he's looking at being like, he's spent the last like 15 years of his life catching up on the show. And now
Just
his
one
wife
show.
His wife is like, I want to watch now. He's like, I'm gonna have to relive all that. Okay, all right.
Best anime I've seen in the last decade is Future Diary. Period.
Okay,
it's
cool.
It's one season. You watch all the episodes of the first season. It's a story from beginning to end, and it ends so perfectly. I don't think I've ever seen a better anime in my adult life.
Well, that's
Future Diary.
cool. We'll check it out.
And it's about a bunch of people who get these diaries that tell aspects of their life in the future, and everyone's aspects are different. And they are also supposed to kill each other and be the last one living with the diary.
Sweet.
It's neat.
There's so many out there, man. It's crazy.
I like the concepts because American TV gets boring, and then you watch animes and you're like, what the fuck kind of drugs were you on when you thought of that?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's funny it's interesting to watch stuff with different cultural expectations and just like placating a American audience in the stuff we're used to. You're like, holy shit, this is a fucking jack of adrenaline in a different direction.
Yep.
So
I've been saving for a while because I know it's going to be good. I've already been told it's up my alley and I'm going to love it. But High Rise Invasion.
Okay.
It's a home invasion tale, like, you know, your average horror movie.
Yeah.
But it's an entire high-rise building that's being home invaded.
oh, that's cool.
So it's like they're murdering everyone door to door and spending some time with some and being sadistic and all that. And some people are fighting back. But it's like 20 apartments in a large building or 30 or 40.
Yeah.
Instead of just one house, one family, one group of killers.
Yeah,
It's a neat concept.
creative,
Basically,
yeah.
they made the home invasion concept bigger.
Yeah, which is what you have to do when you're like, we want this to last season. So you can't be like, we
Also,
can't, they can't be in
one
the same-
season and it's
Yeah.
over.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like High School of the Dead.
so it's like what, like a different like roomy.
Haven't
day or
started
something?
it. Haven't started it.
All right.
It's like High School of the Dead. One of my favorite animes of all time. One season.
Yeah, that seems rarer. now, but
I tend to gravitate towards things I don't have to spend a decade of my life.
That's why it takes for
Sword
a lot
Art
for me to get
Online is
into
an
it.
exception because it's long.
Yeah,
but
that's why like when people are like check this out, I'm like it's got like 16 seasons and there's like 60 episodes a season. I can't do that, man. Like it's hard for me to watch. Like I haven't even gotten caught up on Cobra Kai, and that's a ridiculous show that I watch. There's like 8 episodes a season, and they're over in like the length of a movie by the time the whole season's done. And so I gotta pick my battles, and usually when I see like a large number at the top of it, I'm like, I'll pass on this one.
Since we're going out, and that's the end of the story. Really, the whole story was that an adult woman posing as a 13-year-old girl went into the metaverse and got
big
all
surprise!
kinds
The
of rapey
metaverse is
shit
exactly
happening.
what people warned that it would be.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they didn't actually they haven't learned from any of their mistakes, because at the end of the day, Zuckerberg will be like, we messed up and we're really sorry. We're putting things in place to fix it. And it's like, but you have these problems and you didn't actually do you didn't. I understand from a tech perspective how difficult it is to like understand everything that people are going to do, but like, hey, maybe there's going to be some fucking perverts and some shit.
Yeah.
Should be number one. TTP, time to penis, right?
I want to give one recommendation to our listeners, because this is something you probably won't find on your own, and I think it's worthy of telling people. There's a show on Amazon that's weekly, which is weird. That Amazon never had weekly shows before.
Yeah.
Last Comic Standing kind of thing. I forget what the title is. It's Canadian, the one I'm watching, although they have one for every single country except America. So you can watch the New Zealand version, the Australian version, the Spanish version, the French version, the Italian version. Same show, same premise, same everything, but different countries' comedians. The Canadian one I like because every single person on it is hugely famous. They couldn't have gotten more famous if they got Mike Myers. He's the most famous person who isn't on it. You name a famous comedian from Canada and they're on it.
Sweet.
And it's basically a bunch of comedians in a room and they can't laugh or smile. And if you do, you get kicked out.
I like it.
Tom Green is a monster on it.
Oh, sweet.
Because he is so sadistically funny and weird, and it's hard to make him laugh.
I love that guy, like, he never really compromised who he was, and therefore he kind of fell out of, like, favor with people for a while, and then he just came back because, people are like, hey, where's that guy? And he's like, I wasn't going to fucking mold myself into this different person, and he's got, like, there's so much more, like, respect for, like, the fact that, nowadays the stuff that he was doing, like, is all like Eric Andre and stuff like that is like popular and this weird stuff. But that weird comedy was just so outlandish back in those days.
He still does it, and he does it well. I was laughing watching the show.
I watched a bunch of the Tom Green, like even his talk show, because after Norm Macdonald passed away, he'd been on it, I think a couple of times, because another fellow Canadian there. Just like seeing him back in it, and I was like, oh, it's good that he's like popping back up, and also just decided to fade away and be like, I'm fine, as opposed to being like, no, look, I'm this guy now. Oh wait, and then get all depressed and then fucking fall down a spiral.
He kept it.
He's like, no, I've always been this. I've had the same brain as when I was 14.
You watch some of that show, and I'm like, hey, that's old Tom Green. He didn't change.
Yep.
It's got a whose line is it anyway? The Colin guy from that.
Yeah, Colin.
It's got the fat guy from Letterkenny.
Yep.
Kenny.
Letterkenny.
I don't know which way it goes. Tom Green, John LaJoy or LaJoie.
Yeah,
he's probably my favorite person on the show. One of the kids in the hall.
Oh, really? Oh, Kids in the Hall. There's a documentary that's popping up.
There's supposed to be new episodes of Kids in the Hall on Amazon soon.
Yeah, Amazon. There's good. The thing about that is they put all the old episodes on Amazon finally.
They're getting ready for it. Yeah, you can tell.
And they got the rights for the documentary that's at South by South.
Do they have the movie Brain Candy?
Like they don't. That's still not around there. I don't know if that will pop up because I know there's kind of controversy.
It's probably owned by Sony or Paramount or somebody.
Yeah, and also I think just like there was, it was hard to find anywhere. There's a YouTube rip out there, and I was just gonna.
I've been hoping to find it on VHS or DVD.
I was gonna buy you can get used copies of the DVD pretty cheaply, but yeah, just go to your I feel like people who own Brain Candy might hold on to it unless it like ends up in somebody's. box of random shit.
I found a DVD of Machete at the thrift store the other day, and I was like, who would give this up? Like, even the DVD of it is kind of a rare DVD.
That's left at a parent's house and somebody going through their kids' shit and selling all their old.
No, I saw that. I'm like, I don't usually grab DVDs, but that's considered rare.
Yeah,
like, they didn't make a shit ton of those.
Yeah.
Plus, I get to watch it anytime I want without pirating it now, because I wouldn't know where the fuck to find that movie.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think us talking about movies and TV is the end of the show.
That's what we're gonna. I'm gonna go out on. Actually, originally I was gonna go out on something. I'll go out on next week, and I'll give a little bit of an intro to it next time around. Something I came across, but instead this week I'm gonna go out on a beat with no vocals over it, just because it actually has the opening sample is from the old pirate video from back in the 80s where somebody interrupted an episode of Doctor Who because they'd gotten a hold of the airwaves and came on with Max Headroom's face on and just said a bunch of weird rambling stuff before they finally got them cut off. It was one of the biggest like pirate video hijacks in memory. So anyway, so I used that sample at the beginning of it, and we talked about Max Headroom, so I'm making the thing there. So enjoy this beat, Bruno Orbita, and have fun and get lost.
Get lost.